Right, hi everyone. Welcome to ServiceNow Portfolio Development Group. We're going to be doing a walk-up experience session one, a bit of show and tell configuration. We're excited to kick off a series of workshops with the ServiceNow Walk-up Experience. These series are really designed to teach you how to configure, effectively use the walk-up experience, and really to enhance your skills and maximize the platform's potential. So I'll just move on to the next slide. So we've got a bit of a session agenda, really going through the introduction, which we'll have Samara and KG just to give an intro. We'll have Samara and KG just to do a bit of a show and tell around their configuration. So this session is really focusing on the configuration aspect. So Samara, did you want to chip in, or KG? Nope, I thought I heard someone pop in there. That's fine. Just let me know if you put your hand up, and if you want to chip in, that's fine. Then we'll have a next part is a bit of a conclusion in terms of how you found the configuration, and then we'll just announce some of the next sessions that we will have. Hopefully this session will just take about an hour or so. And if you have any follow-up questions, just please drop it into the Walk-up Experience channel. So I will go on to the introductions. So I think I'll hand the introductions over to KG and Samara. I think everyone knows who I am, but I obviously had an earlier video that I did an intro to the Walk-up Experience. So I'm a product owner working for a customer, so I'm also using ServiceNow. But I'll hand over the introductions over to KG.
Yes,
KG?
can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Brilliant. Samara, do you want to introduce yourself? And then when I introduce myself, I'll just start the configuration bit.
Yes. First, I want to start off with saying I do not have a show and tell today, but I am happy to be here. Because of learning this walk-up experience, I'm going to be actually setting up my walk-up experience using the Customer Service Manager, which is different than the ITSM. So I'm actually really excited to get into it. I don't have it ready for presentation today, but I'm hoping by the next series, I'll be able to go through what I've come up with. I am new to ServiceNow. I've been doing this for about a year. I've met Jerry, CJ, and Sarah through the SNPDG Discord group. And once Jerry did his first walk-up experience walkthrough, I was really intrigued and just went from there.
Thank you, Samara. Yes, and I'm really actually interested looking how you've configured the CSM aspect of the walk-up, because I haven't really looked at that. I was very much specifically focusing on, I think my experience is around IT service management, but I'm really looking forward to that, Samara. And hand over to you, KG.
Thank you. Yes, so the purpose of this show and tell is just to do a basic configuration for the walk-up experience. It's got endless configurations in my view. What we're trying to do is just to stand up a basic configuration that we can log into, book appointment, and see how that works. And with that basic information, you can then go ahead and tweak it in the many wonderful ways that ServiceNow has provided for this to be customized to your own views. So I'm going to share my screen.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I think first of all, let me just jump on to the next slide, which is just some feedback, really. So I think really just to get some feedback from both of you, really, in terms of, how have you found the documentation? I think we talked through, I think the first video which I showed was around the guided support. It would just really just get some feedback in terms of what your thoughts are around, you've not really used Walk-up before, you've not seen it before, but you've got resources, documentation, guided support. What are your views on that?
Personally, the demo is brilliant because it shows you what it does. But when I went back to my laptop to try and configure it, I had issues with it. There is a guided setup that ServiceNow provides, and there are some documentation, but it's not just myself, but I find that quite a lot of people could not get their heads around the configuration bit, which led me to do a bit of research and trying to work out how the configuration can be done. It's not a very straightforward thing to do. And yes, again, there is a guided setup, but it's not as easy as it looks. So my personal experience is that the guided setup is not as easy to use as it says it is. And hopefully this video will make it a lot easier for people to get around doing the configuration for the Walk-up experience.
Oh, thank you, Keji. That's really, really useful. And Samara, any thoughts from your side? Oops.
Sorry, no. Sorry.
Okay. All right, that's fine. Thank you, Samara. I will hand over the reins to Keiji for the show and tell session. So let me stop sharing my screen and then over to you.
Thank you. So I'm just going to share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
That's not what I wanted to share. That is a completely different screen. So
No
I need
worries.
to go back. I'm using two screens here, and I didn't want to share that one. So
That's okay. This is good for recording live, non-scripted as well.
Now I'm looking for. Oh yeah, I found it. I need to get back to my Zoom. Where's the Zoom? Okay. So I'm trying to stop sharing the screen.
So there should be a stop share button.
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I can't find it.
How many screens have you got?
I've got yeah, I've seen it. It's on the other one.
It's on the other one. No worries.
Yes. Brilliant. All right, so let's have a go again. Share screen. This is the one I want. Share. So this is the screen, and no, I want to share. I'm just going to minimize it. All right, so what I have here is, I'm just going to go to Walk-up. So based on my experience of the configuration, this is the best approach I've found so far. If we go into the Walk-up location,
I was going to ask KG, if he was to show for people who are watching this recording, how would I access the Walk-up location queue?
Oh, that's what I did that. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. So
no, that's okay. Don't worry.
Yes, thank you. You go to the filter, you type up Walk-up. On the Walk-up experience, there is my Walk-up location.
I'm wondering if you could just demonstrate that on the video, if that's okay, KG.
That's not on the video?
I can't see your screen. It's nothing's moving.
Wow.
Maybe Samara, you want to press pause again?
To the Walk-up locations. Yeah, thank you, Samara. So I'm going to go to the Walk-up location. This is how I've worked out the best way to configure it. So this is an example of one that we've already done. And I figured out that if you set up the schedule, the appointment booking, and you save that, you go to the related links and you do this once, then you basically have done most of what you need to do. You also need to set up a location in the location table. So those are the steps I will go through this evening, just to see how we can get the basics done. So I am going to start with the schedule. So we've gone to the filter, just type in Walk-up and go to schedules. And we'll create a new one. Now, in the schedules, before we go on, what you could do is, because they have so many schedules, you could just pick one of them if you want. What I will do is create one just for the weekend, just to do something different. So I will call it, another thing to bear in mind is everything relating, once you set up a location, then everything relating to that location has that location name associated with the schedule, the appointment, and all of that, so that you don't get lost or you don't lose any one of these things. So if we call this location that we'll create later Kent, then everything else I'm creating relating to the Kent location would have Kent in it. So this schedule will be called Kent Walk-up Experience. Now, there are out-of-the-box schedules, appointments, and I'm just following the naming convention for all of them. I'm guessing that if you're going to customize it for your company or your organization, you give it a different name, but I'm just following the naming convention.
I suppose, KG, that can be just any, like I said, any specific name related to,
That's all. Yeah. So we're just trying to do the basics here to get it to work. So that's fine. So we have that schedule. So the next thing we'll do is the appointment booking. That would be Walk-up. That is appointment configuration. We'll create a new one. So we call that Kent Tech Bar Service Config. That's filled in. Walk-up holiday schedule we don't need. Now, this bit, the catalog item is normally created in the Walk-up Experience scope. So I'm going to change scope to Walk-up Experience. And then
so KJ, I'm just going to ask a quick question, maybe for the people watching it back. What's the reason why we need to change the scope to the walk-up, the walk-up scope for this particular?
And thank you. I did some research and I just couldn't work out why we had to change the scope. Personally, I don't know. I've checked the documentation. In fact, most of the documentation don't actually tell you have to change scope. I only know that because I've looked at what currently exists.
Yeah.
And
I can provide a response to that, KG.
yes, please.
And reason why you've got the different scopes, because obviously you've got the global scope, you've got the walk-up experience scope. Reason is if you're developing this in the development instance, so obviously if you are working for with an organization, you probably will have 3 instances. So you've got the development instance, you've got the tests, you've got production. So best practice approach in my view, in my experience, is we would normally configure the walk-up experience in the development instance, and would be capturing that in a update set, and obviously based on the scope of that update set you would create to I suppose what you would also do is, if you have many update sets, you'll probably just batch them into one update, one batch update set, which then you can then move that across into tests and production environments.
So what you're saying is you just want the record producer for that reason. Otherwise, why wouldn't you just create the whole walk-up experience in a different scope? Why do it in a global scope and then do only the record producer in the walk-up experience scope?
Because give an example. If you was trying to edit an existing appointment booking or the walk-up experience, a message would normally come up saying that you're trying to edit this in the global scope, and you're going to have to change it to the walk-up experience scope. So whenever I see that message, I know it's in a different scope. And if you are going to do any configuration and then you're capturing that in an update set, when you create an update set, it depends on what scope you're in, whether it's global, the walk-up experience scope. So I think best practice approach is that you create your update set with the scope in mind, that you're making those changes, or the configuration work that you're doing.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I didn't create my record producer this way. I just went to record producer. I didn't create it new from here, which you can do. It is the same thing. Just so I do it differently, I went to all, and I did record producer. And I created it from there. Only because for me, it is just a way of learning the platform and getting used to how things work. That's just a preference, You can do it either way. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's it. I think, like you said, the main goal is to create record producers, and there's many different ways to navigate and arrive at that destination.
Yeah. So it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So once we go in, it shows the same thing. It's not really.
Yeah. So, and I think what you notice, KJ, just to pause on that, I think on the right hand side where it says application, you can see it says walk-up experience. I think just below that where you can that's it.
Yeah.
So it's just a note on where, if you are creating a record producer, just please know what application that you're in as well.
Yes, that's a good point, Jerry. I've also found out that sometimes with ServiceNow, as you rightly mentioned, with all these scopes, be aware of the scope you're in, depending on what you're doing. Some things are fine because you're in the global scope, but you could get carried away and then create it in the wrong scope, and then you're having issues. So it's something to always have at the back of your mind. I've just opened a new screen, or I've just got to a new module. What am I doing, and am I in the right scope? It's one of those things I believe the more you do it, the more it becomes second nature.
Exactly.
So would you suggest?
Experience and horror stories? No, that's fine, Samara. I was just mentioning that I've had many experience and horror stories of, doing configuration work in different scopes, but it's just again, it's just experience, some lessons learned. Go ahead, Samara.
Now, I was going to ask, would you suggest, if somebody was creating this walk-up experience, that they do the record producer before they start configuring the walk-up experience, so they won't maybe have a scope?
Yeah. Yes, Tamara, that's a good point. So because we are just going through all of this, if you're going to do yours now, you'll go, actually, haven't seen all the steps that KG has gone through. I'd rather do my record producer first. You'll have to understand what the record producer is there for. If the shop is closed or the tech bar is closed, you might want to create a record producer to say, I'm just going to open an incident for my problem. If your area, if you don't have to have a record, though actually you do, because it says it's mandatory. So if you want to do the configuration and produce record producer first, yep, that's a good way to go. Why not? It's not one of the steps you will see in the guided setup. That's obvious immediately, but because we've opened everything up, yeah, you can do all of these things before you then go into the location and just select everything. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Jerry, you agree with that?
I agree with that. Yeah, as long as that's being, like I said, captured in the relevant update sets, and they are moved across, in order, but you probably would be batching those anyway. That'd be fine. Yeah. So I think it's really just understanding there's a sequencing steps to, if you're going to develop configure the walk-up and also configure the appointments, there are steps that you need to perform to ensure it's functioning correctly. My understanding is a bit like building blocks. You need to make sure you have this block, first block, second block, third block to be added in to make sure. I suppose it's a bit like dependencies, isn't it? You need a prereq dependency on that. But does that make sense, Samara?
Yes.
Okay.
So one of the things I found in the out-of-the-box configurations for the record set is they have 3 variables that they set up and 1 variable set that's been used. If you don't have them, it doesn't really work properly. So I'm just going to go through them as they have it so that we get the right results. So first variable set is it's not a variable set, actually it's a variable. Events. Make sure it's there. I don't need to submit it, I could just save it, but again, it's just preference in the way we work. Service configuration. What did I do in the first one? It's a single line text. The other one is a custom type, so I'm going to change that one.
Okay, can I ask a question if that's okay?
Yes.
When you've got the variables created in this record producer, if you have many other record producers for the same, appointment booking, would you have variable sets that will go across all of them, or is there a reason why you've created separate variables?
I don't have an answer to that. All I know is this is the variable set that comes out of the box for walk-up experience. I am sure that you can create a different variable set for it and use it, because again, it is customizable. But I'm just doing for now what comes out of the box, so that if anything goes wrong, or let's say what I'm trying to reduce is the prospect of anything going wrong, so that at least we can get it up and running and see what it's like. Then we can start to play with it in our own time and say, actually, let me create a different variable set and see what that does.
Okay. I would just wanted to ask, because obviously variables is a standalone variables for this particular one.
Yeah, there is a variable set that goes with it, I believe so.
Oh, it does. Okay.
Oh yeah, there is a variable set that. So I'm just creating the variables now.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the out of the box looked like as well. Just again give the viewers, for people watching it back, just to see what that's like as well.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we could do that.
Yeah.
So this is what this looks like. And let me get the variable set in, and then I'm sure.
Right. Okay. Yep.
So that would be the out of the box variable set and the variables. And obviously you can then change this and add more stuff to it, more variables, different variable sets if you want. But
okay. So what you're demonstrating there then, KG, is that, you know, if you wanted to add more fields, that's out of the box, you can do so. Okay.
Yeah.
That's really useful for specific use case for the organization, part of the requirements, if they said
exactly,
we want fields. That's very, very interesting.
So again, what we're trying to do is just do the basics, and from then on you can add stuff to it and do what you want with it. There is one more script which is very important, which is a location script, and I'll just create that one. It's called set location. Set location. It doesn't matter. We want it to be all. Type when the form's loaded. And it's a very simple script. gform.set mandatory. That's it. Couldn't save records, please. Oh, comma. All right, so that's that bit. So that's, as far as I know, the record producer done. So we've done the schedule, done the appointment booking. No, we're going to the appointment booking. We were doing that when we needed to do the record producer. So I'm going to go back to the appointment booking. So I'm going back to the filter, to walk-up experience, and I will go to the appointment configurations. So go back to new. Call that tech bar. Got that work experience, enable that, so we can then go and get catalog booking. So that location we set, that was giving us that one.
Yeah.
and the user contacts that. So I can save that. So we'll get mandatory. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Appointments per window would be 1. Bookings, appointments, an hour, work, an hour, travel duration. We're not going anywhere because we're just walking downstairs.
Yeah.
And the schedule, I wanted it to be the weekend, so we can just see what that's like.
Yeah.
So start time would be 10 o'clock, and end time would be 6 o'clock.
I was going to say, Kitchen, for this purpose of this show and tell, would it be worth just to change the time to later than what we're on now, because we're about 10
of
PM
course.
now.
I've forgotten about that. Although it'd be interesting to see that. That would come up and say the bar's closed.
Well, there'd probably no appointments available for you to select, but
yes.
I mean, I suppose it's one of those where
yeah, you're right. So what Jerry's mentioned is, it's about 10 o'clock here in London. If we set this up at 6 o'clock, we won't be able to get in because the tech bar is closed. So we've set it to 11 o'clock now, and so that should be okay. So that's that done. So I believe we can have an attempt at setting up one last thing to do is we've got I'll just go to, so I've gone to the filter again, and I'm going to the locations. We've got these 3 locations. They are set in the locations table. So I'm going to set one for Kent in the locations table. If we don't do that, then we'll only have these options to pick from. So, and I'm doing all of this just to show all the other things you need to configure. Either, you can pick one of these ones if we go and set up the locations for the walk-up, or you can create a new one. And I thought it'd be good to just go through creating a new one. So, tables. System definition. Oh, we're still in the walk-up. So this is the problem with the rookie. Should have come out of that and gone back to global, but that's fine. We need to go back to global. And I'll just show the list of tables. So this is the list. That's the London office that we were looking at. So I'm going to create another one for Kent. You don't really need to fill in all the details.
Just experience-wise, where it's got latitude and longitude.
Yes.
If you were to put the coordinates in, which I've experienced, on one of the configuration walk-up experience is, I can't remember which option it was, but what it does essentially is that where the user is located, if they were doing it on their laptop or mobile phone, it would pick up the nearest tech bar to their location that they're automatically, rather than showing them a list of locations. So if you had, I don't know, if you had 5 or 10 locations, and you're thinking, oh well, from a user's perspective, they're going to click on the drop-down list, they're going to try and choose 5 or look through the 5 or 10 locations. But with the latitude and longitude, you're able to put the coordinates of that particular location, and particular use case for that is the user would click onto the walk-up experience location or the location to book an appointment or go to check in, it would automatically select them to the nearest tech bar, so they can see that location. And if it's not the right location, they can then have an option to change location as well.
So if you had the longitude and latitude, I've just put Kent as the name, and for the city of London, I haven't put an address.
No, but for example, if you did put an address, I think you could find the latitude and longitude from Google Maps as well.
Yes.
And then basically you just get that, the actual probably the coordinates, and then insert it into there, and it would.
What would be the benefit of using that? I can't think of.
The benefit is if you got, let's say you got 5 or 10 more tech bars in your organization, if the user is, let's say, located near Kent, it would automatically navigate them or put them to that tech bar so they can make an appointment or do the check-in on the walk-up, rather than if you didn't have that set, where we get to a page and they click on the drop-down list, so we're going extra clicks for the user. So one of the beneficiaries is reducing the number of clicks for the user, and automatically navigating the user to the correct, or not correct, but the nearest, I would say, the nearest location that they can go to the tech bar.
Okay.
That would be the benefit.
Thanks for that, Jerry. Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to submit this. Where is my? This is the walk-up location. So what we've done is created a Kent office in the location table, which is slightly different from the walk-up experience locations. Yes, I almost got confused. So we're just going to create a new walk-up experience location, which is in Kent.
Yeah.
And this would be the Kent Tech Bar. And so, because we've done all of this, we can then select these ones. This will be walk-up. And that.
So could I just take a pause here? Okay, I just want to explain. I think, Samara, this is probably what you probably asked, is about what things we need to create as building blocks. So I think what KG explained earlier was, so if you just point your cursor to the schedule for me, KG, obviously a building block here would be, you need to create a schedule, and then you need to create an appointment booking, which he's done. And then also the location. So schedule, appointment booking, and location is the kind of building blocks that you need to build initially to then populate the walk-up location queue.
Where does the record producer come into play?
Go on, Jared.
I was going to say the record producer comes into play because you've got the appointment booking that we created earlier. That's only for the appointment booking aspect of it. There's my understanding is, KG, this walk-up location queue don't have a record producer field on there. It's only applicable to appointment bookings. Is that correct?
Yes. So the record producer for the appointment booking is for you. When you go there and it's closed, you have the option of creating a record producer for your incident, as for your problem, because it's closed. That's my understanding of it. So we're not going to see it here because we're just setting up the location and all that. I guess when we go into the front end of it, then we would see the record producer. If it was closed, it would say, would you want to raise an incident? I haven't actually tested that bit yet. So
that actually makes sense.
We could have a look at that.
Okay.
Yeah, we could change the time in the schedule so that it's closed and see what comes out of that.
No. It definitely makes sense. It's like we recreate like ticket tables and and then we make a record producer for the user end. So that makes sense.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
So these are lots of configurations that you can tweak. As when we go to the front end, we can play around with all of this and see what happens. But this doesn't affect us standing up the basic walk-up experience. So I'm not going to play around with this.
I was going to just pause on this, KG, because I wanted to mention where it says close record producer at the bottom. That's automatically has that as a create incident. So that's the one.
I'm going to go in and have a look to see if it points to the record producer that we've created.
Not this one. This is out of the box.
Yes, it is. Yep. Oh, this is an incident one. Yes.
Yeah, this is an incident one. The one
this is a separate one.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it'd be
that
interesting.
means the appointment. Sorry, Jerry, I'm talking over you. It means the appointment one is created. If you go and book an appointment and you need to raise an incident, that's what you would use. This is what you would use. This one we're looking at would be the one you would use if the bar is closed.
Yes, correct. Yeah.
Samara, did you get that?
Sorry, that went over my head a little bit.
All right. So Jerry just rightly highlighted this closed record producer, and I had been saying that the record producer we produced was when you go to book an appointment and it's closed, and that's not correct.
Gotcha. Okay.
So this is what you would be created. You would create an incident when it's closed. So it would allow you created, or at least allow an incident to be created. The one we created would be what you would use if you went for an appointment and you needed to raise an incident on your issue.
And that one is the one that you created is assuming that you're still open.
Yes, this one is when the bar is closed. That one would be when you go for your appointment and you need to create an incident during the appointment.
Could I just interject in that? Just to correct on this. So the closed record producer, because there's two use cases here, because obviously you've got the walk-up, or the purpose of the walk-up is for customers to walk up to a tech bar without any appointments. So they're not making any appointments. They are at this location that they're visiting, that they have a tech bar service allows people to walk up without any appointments, and they can check in via the screen. If they have a tablet that is outside of that tech bar and that tech bar is closed, the user would be able to create an incident from that tablet, or if it's on their mobile device, or if it's on the service portal, they can create an incident, so it can be picked up the next working day. So that's the purpose of that. Samara, does that make sense?
That's the purpose of this one. Yes.
That's the purpose for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that make sense, Samara?
Yes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Definitely does. Yes.
It'd be interesting, Samara, to actually find out when you're looking at the customer service management one, whether that changes to create case. Because obviously we're looking at the IT service management one at the moment, which is probably creating an incident.
Yeah, that's why I can't wait to really get into it.
All right. We don't have reasons, so we need to go.
Go back to Kent. Go back to Kent one.
This is the
You're in the London one.
That's Didn't I just create the Kent one?
You did. So if you go back to that list.
Sorry?
Just hit back, Kenji.
Yeah, it's
Kent.
Oh yeah, that's the Kent one.
Yeah, you clicked into London.
And I didn't make it active.
Yeah.
All right, so we've gone to the reasons. I'm just going to pick the out of the box ones.
Could I suggest? Could I give you a tip as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Always save anything you enable, anything you tick on the form. Save it before you click on anything else, because if you hit back, I'll give you a demonstration what I mean by this.
Yeah, that's not active.
Right. Because you hit active and you scroll down to then edit, it normally brings up a message to say, do you haven't saved
because
this.
You haven't saved.
Yeah. So
because you haven't saved.
It's again a very rookie, kind of mistake. I did that before. So it's just a quick tip there for anyone watching as well.
All right. Thank you. So what I've tried to do is save this, but because it hasn't got any reasons, it's not allowing us to. So I'm just going to create the reasons first, and then I'll set it to active. Now, these are all the out-of-the-box reasons. You can create yours as well. And so we've got all the reasons. So you can create a new one if you want, but we won't go into that. And we don't need to look at a kiosk or all of this right now. So if I set that to active, I can update it, but I just want to see that it's saved. Yep. Invalid schedule attached to walk-up. Why would you say that?
Because you didn't create any schedule entries in your schedule. You created a schedule, but you didn't put any times in there.
Yes, you're right. I remember that one. The schedule is the next one to go for.
Yeah.
So,
but this is really good to see, KG, because people will find exactly the same issues that you're looking at the moment. It's
exactly.
Just to watch back and say, "Oh right, I know. I need to get to it. I need to get to location table."
Yes. Thank you, Jerry. This is why I wanted to do it like this, because you get more familiar with the modules and what they do. And you're a bit more comfortable with tweaking it and knowing where to go. So at least that's what I've found out anyway.
Do you know what it feels like, AJ? It feels like, when you're learning to drive and you've got an instructor helping you, it just feels like that, because obviously I've done this before and I'm seeing it and it feels like, this guy did. So it's just really interesting.
So the schedule entry you were talking about is this one, isn't it?
Correct. Yes, that's it.
Yeah, because I've seen it before. So let me see, what do we call it? I'm just going to quickly have a look at what the others are called. Schedules. No, not that one.
Sorry, I kind of missed it. What is this schedule entry for?
Oh, I'm sorry. So we have a schedule, but this is a detail of the schedule itself. So in the walk-up, when we created the location, we have a schedule, this, and it just says that. So we want to go in and create the details of that schedule, what time to what time, and that is here. If we go to schedules and we go to Camp Walk-up, this schedule entry then says what are the exact details of that schedule.
So it's basically like setting your opening times for the walk-up to be operational. So if you imagine you've got a shop and you say, right, the shop opens at 9 in the morning and it closes at 5 in the afternoon. So this is essentially you setting up opening and closing time.
So this is the details that Jerry's just mentioning. So we're going to set the opening time, which is today. It's at 6 a.m., which is fine, and just for ease of view.
I was going to mention, KG, this is a bit that's very confusing when I was initially setting up.
It still confuses me. I still mix up time. So this is hit or miss. Go on.
Yeah. So where it says when and to, right? that is only the one day. So essentially is, if I try and explain this, is, for example, today is the 4th, right?
Yes.
That's fine. Yeah. That is a day that you say, right, on a single day, it's going to be open from 6 in the morning, and just change that to, let's say, change it to so that's fine. 6 in the morning is fine, but set the 2300. So that's 2300. But you leave that on the 4th, right? On the is that the 5th of the 4th? Yep.
That's the 4th of the 5th, I believe.
That's fine, because it's in the British format.
Yes,
that's
the
it.
4th of the 5th.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's fine. So that means that you just set it for one day. Okay.
Yes.
Right. Where then you think, right, I need to set my days maybe Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, or maybe it repeats at a certain certain days of the week. Right. You've got your drop down list for repeats. So where it says does not repeat, if you click on that, and this gives you very much around whether it's daily, it's either Monday to Friday, it's the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, or the every kind of Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But again, if you look at the very bottom, you got something that says specific.
Yeah.
If you click onto that, and this is a bit where you can repeat the when to of how many weeks, or you can repeat it on the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So you tick the box for each of those days.
So if I tick Saturday and Sunday, does this mean it'll open on Saturday 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., Sunday 6 a.m. to 11 p.m.?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Correct.
All right. So how does this differ from the appointment configuration?
Right. So this schedule entry is only specific for the walk-up. It's only for the walk-up. Your appointment record also has, you already set the schedule of when the appointments can be booked.
All right.
Okay.
I see. So what you're saying is this schedule that we're looking at only determines the time the tech bar opens.
Correct. Yes. Correct. Yep.
Yeah.
So if
right.
you hit submit.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll give you another use case, another example. Let's say you want to add bank holidays. So you want bank holidays, or maybe public, so yeah, bank holidays, and maybe like
bank holidays.
Yeah.
Let's do.
So can you just go back? Can you just go back one screen for me, please?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So yes, create a new one.
Yeah.
And where it says type, set that as excluded.
All
and
right.
then you can call that as bank holiday, maybe Christmas time, maybe it's Easter, any kind of public holidays or closure days.
I'll just do Christmas.
Yeah, for example.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also give an example I've had before where your team might have a training day. Maybe you only close it at a specific time, and you can use this particular schedule with the type excluded, that it would close the tech bar at that certain day and time.
So you know what? Let's use your example, because Christmas is too far away. Let's do training.
Yeah,
day.
let's do training day. Yeah,
let's do training day, and we'll set the training day to Monday.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
We'll set the training day to Monday. So what would you set the time as? Would that be?
I don't know. Let's give an example. You could set it to 10 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock. So it's a two-hour session for the team that's going to have training day. They're going to close the tech bar down for that time, and they will then reopen back at that time.
All right. What you just said is the key. What we are doing, in my understanding of this, is we are saying that we are excluding this time 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
Yep.
Or using another word, we're saying the tech bar will not open 10 a.m. to 12 noon.
On the 6th of
On
May.
the 6th of May, because it's training day.
Yeah. And you could also, let's say you've got a weekly team meeting, you could also create another schedule, and then you could also then repeat it as well.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, you can tweak this endlessly.
Yes, you can.
You can tweak this. I'm pleased with this.
And the beauty of this as well is you have specific roles. So you have a walk-up manager role. So you can give that walk-up manager role to a team leader or a operational lead. They could actually go into here and set those schedules up themselves.
Yes.
So it would take away that work from the developer. So the developer would not need to do that going forward. So you would delegate that responsibility or the task over to the person with the walk-up manager role. Yeah,
because this is just configuration.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, just configuration. All right. So we would go back to what were we looking at when we were looking at the schedule again? We had done that. I believe we're done. Well, this should we?
So I'll give you an example what that is as well, KJ. So just scroll down where it says text entry is false.
Yeah.
So what that means is if you was to select one of those reasons, it would allow the user to be able to input text. So for example, maybe I need something or laptop refresh. Other, where it says other, you could double click on. So if you scroll down, double click onto that. No, go back. Go back. You could do it this way. So if you just hover your mouse just not on false, but just to the right of it, just go up a bit, little bit. So basically put your mouse cursor to the left of false. Is it to the left? Oh, no, so to your right, sorry, to your right, and then double click on an empty space. You can change that to true. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, let's change that to true, and then we'll have a look at the front end and see.
And then hit update. That's fine.
All right. So now we can what's the word? It escapes me. Impersonate the walk-up user.
Yep.
And see what we've done. We go to the portal. Yay. So we've got our Kent location there, which we just created. We'll go check in. I'll just put Andrew Jackson. Reason for visit. Oh, I can't remember which one we changed to false. Was it other?
You chose something that's not working.
It was other.
It was other.
No, he didn't. He chose it for something that's not working.
Something's not working, all right.
Yeah, that's where your short description box with the text fields comes up. So if you were to select another one, that box would not appear because you made that, whether it's true or false. Yeah, the other should be true because then you can text. But
all right. So that's the point. So if you change text entry to true, which we did for something's not working, then we get this short description. And not get my laptop to boot up. And then we check in and we're in. So I remember, Jerry, we did this the last time we were here and we had that other screen. That was the
So what you need to do at this stage, if you ever want to demo it to a stakeholder, is to create is use another browser or use a private private window, and then you log in directly in as the walk-up user.
Yes, that's what it is.
Because if you imagine either you're on a, let's say, a computer or a tablet, you want to basically demo it as it is, what the customer would, or what someone has on tech bar would normally set up. Set up the screen.
Let us do that. Let me get Microsoft Edge. Get that here. I thought that was a very good way of looking at this. And Gary, how did we get the password again?
Okay, so you need to go to the user table.
Yeah, we went to the user table.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Then we went to our walk-up.
Yeah. And then you probably need to, whether you've set up a password or not, but you need to set them. You need to change the password.
Change password. There's no password for it, so I'll just do password.
Well, you need to know what the old password is. So go back for me, KG.
Well, I thought you said I didn't see the password had been set.
No. So what you need to do is just right click on. Is it right click on the top? I think. I'm trying to remember. No. Click on the three dots. Not that one. The one below. Click on that. Yeah, click onto that one. Sorry, KG. Click just not that one. Click on the at the top where it's like a hamburger.
Yeah. No.
How come there isn't? There's something there. So.
And it's aren't we in global? We're in global.
You're in global.
Why is it not editable?
Not too sure.
Oh,
Plus,
we've got the impersonator. That's why.
Oh, okay.
Yes, yeah. We're still impersonating him. All right. Oh, we're back.
Oh, there you go. That is always a rookie mistake. Is if you impersonate someone and you go in.
You're just thinking, what have I done wrong now?
So have you ever experienced that?
Those are things you just slowly eliminate them. Am I in the right scope? Yes, I'm in the right scope. Am I the right user? Oh yeah, I'm impersonating.
Yeah. Where is a set password?
Yes, I remember we did that.
Not this one. Go back. It's not that linked. But at the very top, you got set password. There's a button at the top called set password.
Oh yes, yeah, that one.
Do it that way.
All right. So and it's generate, I believe you did, and then you copy that.
So hit save password first as well.
Yes. Thanks for that.
No worries. And
sometimes I get so eager to get to the end.
That's
that
fine.
it's like so username is Walk-up. Password is that. Yay, so we've logged in successfully. I don't want to change it. Do I have to change it?
Yeah, the reason why, because if you look on your left-hand screen or the left-hand, where it says there's a tick box for password needs reset. That's
if
the reason why. If we hadn't
clicked that, then we wouldn't need to do that.
No, but it's always best practice just to change the password something different, or something that's maybe It's up to you, really. It's really up to you.
No, this is just for a demo, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna change it to third one.
And you probably need to put an exclamation mark on the end of it because it needs a special character. Yeah.
Needs that. That. All right. So this says that we are closed. Is it 11 yet? It's not 11 yet.
No, it's not 11.
All right. So we need to go to the schedule.
I mean, this is a good example, isn't it? It's a good example.
Yes, it definitely is. Definitely is. Yeah. So.
What time zone are you in? Maybe it's in California time zone.
No.
That is true. You know what? That is true. The reason why is as well.
I can't. No, I don't
no.
agree. It should be here. California.
No. So your PDI, you need to check your PDI to see what time zone it's set.
Oh yeah, wait. It's not past 11 o'clock in California time zone.
No, I've done, Jerry. I've had this problem before, and I'm sure. And you can see it says Sunday. 6 to 11, and that's 6 to 11. Well, why it says next available time is Sunday? So
KG, can I just check your PDI?
Yeah.
Can you click on? Sorry, I'm pointing, which is not good. At the top right corner, there's like a picture of a face. Click on, is it preferences? Here it is. Time zone. You're in America time. So where's this time zone? There he goes. Yep.
Oh wow.
Select London.
I wouldn't have checked that.
Yeah. But anyway, that's something that I've checked as well.
That's still there.
Still there.
Hold on. Let's refresh this. And let's refresh that.
Maybe you need to log out.
Shouldn't need to. It should just update it. It should just update it. It shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Check that's saved first. Yes.
But you're in as user, but what's the overall system set as?
This should be the overall system setup, I believe.
I have another question too about this. You notice how, like earlier you did, a user and they created a request. Is this something where you have to put like, I don't know, unlimited requests or, like,
No,
is it just one request and then it closes down?
No. It's nothing to do with the request. This is more of the time zone difference.
Okay.
That's your appointment one. So it's not appointment, it's this is the walk up. So what I would suggest you do, KJ, just to test it, go back to your walk up location for Kent.
All right.
So what we're doing here is a bit of troubleshooting now. So what you want to do in the schedule, so go back to your schedule. Okay, go to your weekend. Just tick all day.
All right.
Press and save it. Yeah, and then press refresh. Okay. So this is where you need to work out, understand why the time zone is different. So there's something that's a configuration.
So this is the all day. That's the time it's given us. So it started from 12 midnight on the 5th to 11:59.
Because you put all day.
Yes. So it'll be 11:59 this evening. I can't understand why it did what it did then. I really don't get. So I'm going to play around with that as well. That's what you were saying at the time earlier, isn't it?
Well, it just depends on where that person is, and I'm wondering whether it's a walk-up user that has got a different time set up for it. That's what I'm trying to work out.
No, I had this problem when I was playing with it last week, and it was closed as well, and I changed the schedule and it worked based on the time here in London. So
if you go to the walk-up user, go to within the walk-up user table, the user table, and then go to walk-up.
Yeah,
you might want to check what the settings is for that user is, whether the time zone is set up differently.
All right, we went to tables, so this is not him. We went to walk-up user. Yes, so
can you see the time zone?
Yes, I can see the time zone.
But there is I'm sure there is a setting in ServiceNow. I can't remember where it was. There's a global setting for time zone for you set everyone is the right time zone. Or you don't set them as time zone for that. You set them to their. It's a user location. I mean, based on their computer settings, I would say.
Would that be system properties?
That's
in
it. Yeah,
properties.
That's it. You get system properties. That's
you'll be in sys properties.
Just have a look. Just have a look. I'm curious. It's been a while since I've had a look at
that. What's it called again? Sys properties.
Just type in system. Just system properties. Just type in system, and then properties. And then maybe it's is it system?
It won't be basic configuration. Let's try that one.
I think it might be.
I normally go to sysproperties.list. I haven't used this before. Well, it goes to the same place anyway.
There it is. So where it says there time zone, click for the drop down list, and then it says no. So go click on it again. Scroll down. That's it. Is there nothing that says user?
Blah 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 blah. Date format. No.
Because what you're doing is you're overriding everyone's user.
So let me just come out and not save it.
Let me just
basic, my company, UI properties, classic mobile. Let's go to system. Yeah, this is the one I normally see. Is this the one you're talking about, Jerry?
What can you select in there? Give me 1 second.
Can't. You have to put something in. Time format upgrade, number of days, maintain history.
Okay, go to 1 second. Oh, do you know the reason why? Is because your PDI is it's located in California. That's why. Yeah. So basically, because the PDI, it depends on which data center your ServiceNow instance is being set up. So,
all right.
because the PDI is set up in America,
California. Yeah.
that's why it's set. So I think for this particular demo, you might just want to set it to the London time zone.
Yeah, it is in the London time zone.
Go back to your system again. So it's
All right.
the base, go back to system properties and then basic configuration, and then where it says system time zone,
Yeah.
and then choose London or GMT. That's fine, but London.
GMT.
Yeah. But just bear in mind we are in BST time as well.
That's a good point. I'll just choose London because
Just
that
choose
would
London,
when the
yeah.
time changes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have that.
That's the reason why. So it depends on where your ServiceNow instance is being, in terms of where that data center is being located.
So Samara, this is where I get. This is one of my issues with ServiceNow. There are several places where you can change the same item, the same, what's the best word for it? One of these where you can make a change to the configuration and it has different effects. There's one here, there's one in the profile, there's another one in system. It's like, that's something you have to get your head around. Anyway, we've got that.
That's actually good to know. So I'm glad
Yes.
we went through this troubleshooting.
Yes, yeah, it's good. It's good to be able to do that. So we are going to go to, who did we pick then? I'm sure I'll remember as I go.
My screen. So thank you, KG, for doing that show and tell of the configuration for the walk-up experience. It's really, really useful. So just maybe just a few words from both really around the conclusion of, Samara, I think you've watched it through in terms of what KG did, and from your conclusion, what did you think?
For me, it helped unpack all the steps it takes to actually build it, in a good way. So it's like, okay, I know I'm going to do this first. I know now I want to go back and go through my time zones, troubleshoot that out first.
Yes.
So I'm glad KG went through this whole process in a way that he did. It was really helpful.
Great. And then I think KG, Samara, I really like the fact that we could walk through, kind of looking at the pitfalls as well, and
Yes.
being a developer, it's not going to be perfect, and there's things that whether it's rookie mistakes, whether it's something we've impersonated someone and we forgot to go back to check. But these are really good learning points, and really, really useful to see how you've learned the configuration of the walk-up experience and able to help you guide through that process. It's been really, really positive.
Yes, I enjoyed it as well. I think the fact that we, like you rightly said, were able to run into issues that we had to troubleshoot and fix, just shows you how something that's supposed to be quite simple and straightforward can come up with problems that could be showstoppers if you don't know what you're doing and you're not used to the platform. I think another thing it highlights is the need to be comfortable with various areas of the ServiceNow platform so you know where to look to solve your problems.
No, thank you, KG, and absolutely right. Like I said, it's just been, I think it's really knowing where things are, and then also as well, if you don't know where things are, then you've also got the resources from the ServiceNow product support page, and maybe even their knowledge base articles from their support page. So they're really, really useful as well. Okay, so thank you, KG, and Samara, thank you for
Thank you very much, Samara. Thank you, Jerry. Really enjoyed.
Just moving on to the next slide, if that's okay.
All right.
So this is really about the next sessions. So what are we going to do on our next sessions is we'll be looking at the service operational workspace. So what KG showed.
Are you sharing your screen? Because I don't see anything.
Oh, have I not?
You're sharing your screen.
oh.
I can see your screen.
Nope, sorry. I had it expanded out. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. Anyway, I'll start again if that's okay. And I'll just get that cutted. No, KG, thank you so much for showing what you've done around the configuration. I think in terms of the future sessions that we're going to do in these Walk-up Experience series is we're going to look at the service operational workspace. We're going to learn how, in terms of to take it to the next step, is KG showed how the users checked in. We're going to see it from a technician's perspective of how we're going to be able to serve that customer, and then what, in terms of from a user's perspective and a technician's perspective, what we can do from that particular process from end to end of serving the customer. We can raise an incident or request based on that interaction record as well, and then once we close that interaction record, what that looks like. And then some further sessions, again, these probably will be we'll put some dates in mind in terms of when we're going to look at doing these, is service portal configuration, so exploring how we can configure the walk-up experience as a use case. So essentially the user can then on the service portal click on to be able to check in or make an appointment. And then late sessions as well, we can cover around update sets and batching, so we can discover how we can use those sorts of capabilities to be able to batch effectively by configuring the walk-up experience. So as I mentioned very early on at the beginning, is these series are designed for individuals at all skill levels, beginner and seasoned experts. So we will provide these as recordings and put them into the Walk-up Experience channel for those who are unavailable to attend. Again, you can ask any questions and we can get back to you on that. So thank you very much for everyone watching, and thank you Samara and KG for your time as well.
Thank you very much, Jerry. Thanks, Samara. Have a wonderful evening.
Sorry, thank you. Have a good evening.